Hey there, and welcome back to another Tips Team After School Special. Today we're going to be talking about Google Slides, now with add-ons. So one of the most exciting things about Google in the last little while with Google Docs has been the ability to use third-party add-ons through right inside the Google Docs, which has added a lot of functionality and given our students access to a whole bunch of tools that they wouldn't have had or they wouldn't have had access to without having to switch screens. So that functionality's finally come to Google Slides, and we'll hop into some slides here, and we'll show you where to find it. And the selection of add-ons right now is still pretty low, but we'll definitely be growing over time. So we'll talk about that too. So as you can see here, I'm just going to use my Google Slide here to hop in. And the first thing you'll notice about slides is that right along here in the top in the toolbar now, you'll actually be able to see the add-ons button. So the add-ons button is in the same place it's found in a Google Doc. It's just hanging out right here at the top. And functionally, it works exactly the same as it does in a Google Doc. So I'm just going to click on this, and you're going to see that I have some installed. But if you don't, when you first get in there, you're going to notice that you can click right into Get Add-ons. And this will take you to the add-ons, sort of the marketplace or the store. And you'll see that for right now, is a very small selection, but what's here, it can be pretty powerful. So you'll notice here that if you are a Pear Deck user, we do have a Pear Deck add-on, which adds some functionality into slides and lets you work a little more seamlessly between the two. You've got the lucid chart diagrams for slides, which will let you quickly and easily access and bring in your lucid chart diagrams, which if you're in Edmonton Public Schools is great because you have access to this already. And we also have a photo slideshow. So if you've ever wanted to take a whole pile of photos that you've organized in a Drive folder or into a photo album in Google Photos, you'll be able to take those and automatically create a picture slideshow to use in your classroom or other places like that. So let's go ahead and take a look here. When you add one, it's the same as always. You can see I have three added with the little check mark banner. But let's say that I wanted to add Adobe Stock, if that's something I have a license for. I would simply pick it, click the plus button, and it's going to ask for permission to access my Google Docs because that's where I want those images to go. So I'm going to go ahead and let it know that it can indeed add photos to and from my slideshow. And you'll see here that it gives me a notice that it's been added. So it's fairly intuitive. And if you've used this add-ons in Google Docs, it won't be a problem. So let's talk about a few of them now. I'm going to open up a quick empty slide and talk about the one that I'm pretty excited about, and that is lucid chart diagrams for slides. I'm going to go ahead and pick insert diagram. And what this does is open a sidebar, which accesses all of my lucid chart diagrams that I've created. So if I've worked on this beforehand, I can go ahead and load those up. Working on Wi-Fi today is takes a little while for this to load. So you'll see here it's loading these titles. I have quite a few of them. This is why this is taking a second because it's querying all of my files. But when it's ready, these will all pop up and I'll be able to grab one and insert it. So while we're waiting, you might also want to think about how you would want to work ahead. So it won't let you actually create a lucid chart diagram right from in here, but it will definitely let you insert one. All right, so while that's seems to be taking a really long time to load, we'll just maybe, there we go. As you can see, it just took a minute. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. So maybe you've prepared a diagram that you want to use with your classroom ahead. For example, maybe you have a sequence writing activity or an organizer that you've created. I'm going to go ahead. It gives me a preview and an option to insert, or I can hit the edit button and head back into Lucidchart to edit. And maybe you've prepared this ahead for your students or they would like to make it. And it goes ahead and simply inserts like this. So as you can see here, here's my sequence chart, how to make a snowman, one snowball, smaller one, stack them up. So if that's the kind of work you're doing and you might just want to quickly throw that in a presentation to work with your students, you can do that, including a link directly back to that item in Lucidchart if you wanted to open it and edit it. So just a quick way to get those diagrams in and out of slides without having to hop back out into Lucidchart, copy, paste, etc. In addition to that, you're also going to have an add-on for Pear Deck. So in the past, you could import Google Slideshows into Pear Deck and run everything in Pear Deck. Now you have another option, and that is to add some of these warm-up slides and interactive pieces directly into your slides presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and add a slide here. So it's going to create that slide and put it directly into my uh, Google presentation. You'll notice here, though, the one thing that is a little different is when you import into Pear Deck and you're running it completely in Pear Deck, you don't have to leave anywhere. To actually make this slide interactive with your students, you do have to choose to quickly present your slides presentation with Pear Deck, and that'll actually open it in Pear Deck to take advantage of all the features that are there. What's nice, though, is instead of importing, making a slideshow in Google Slides, and then having to import it into Pear Deck and add those slides, you can simply edit everything all the way through, or for most of those things through, right in Google Slides, then just present it through Pear Deck. So you don't have to jump between as often just to present, not to create. Might be a way to save you a little bit of time as you're working through. So anyways, go. Those are some entertaining things you might be able to do, and hopefully you find those useful and you give them a try. Thanks so much.